At least I.
Only one lane.
Starting YouTube. Make sure that's good.
It was back to OBD for the last mile.
Billy's backed up all the way to court.
I was going the other way. It was backed up both ways.
I came to Lomas from Louisiana because there was no way I was gonna get through the back part of the mall.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna go home.
I know, me too, because it's bad.
Yeah, it's not gonna be cleared up.
No.
Even if we're not.
I think,
Yes.
all right, are we ready?
Almost.
Okay. You just tell me, baby. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how I'm gonna help you. All right. All right, good evening, everybody. I will call this meeting of the Governing Council of Alice King Community School to order at 5:38 p.m. And I can confirm that we have a quorum. I think we're all here this evening. Good job, everyone. Missing anyone? No, I don't think so. All right, adoption of the agenda. It is on the screen and was emailed to you. Do we have a motion to approve?
Hey, one question, Mariposa. Is there a chance that we could push the review of the state of the school up just so that I could be here in case there's any actions on that?
Yeah, let's do a motion in a second and then we'll do your change with the vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now, are there any further discussion? Let's see, can you scroll down a little bit and let me see how to move this around? If there's no objection, I would like to modify the agenda to move D up to A under council committee reports. We'll do it first. With that change, can I have a vote? All in favor of the agenda as amended? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. All right. I had no public as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. There's no public here. Is there any public on Zoom? All right, no public. Comments from council members? Do we have any? I will just be brief real quick because I know Dominic's in a hurry. I came to Boo Bash, as did Dominic and Fabian. I don't know if anybody else was here. I didn't see anyone, but it was well attended and a good time as usual. So thank you guys and thank you PTA for putting it on because I think it was a wonderful event as usual. All right, Miss Christie, you are up.
Oh, that was fast. Okay, Fabian, I sent you my report. Did you get it? And it has some embedded links in it tonight.
Get fancy, huh?
Not right? I know. Trying to make it easier for the person manipulating things over there. All right, student enrollment. Not much change between October and November, but we are down 2 more students who moved out of state. We are still, Laura and I are still working to determine what our anticipated budget adjustment is going to be based on the decreased student count. So we don't have any new information for you on that right now. The rest of my report is mostly happy things. Our 8th grade service learning class was recently in the news. They did a really great project for the City of Albuquerque's Department of Health, Housing, and Homelessness. They collected personal hygiene items and made tie blankets to donate to the unhoused. And then the city, the representatives from that department came, they gave a presentation to the students in class, and then the students got to load up all of the items. And there's, I have a link there, Fabian, hopefully it works. And we can, once we get to that page, I can show you guys the quick 2-minute video.
And I will say for another thing that I volunteer for, I went to the Gateway Center and it's really, really cool. And I think it's going to be a good addition. I think they're already serving people. So
That's
I'm glad
great.
that the students could help.
This one?
Mm-hmm. And if you just click on the little square in the bottom, it'll enlarge it.
It's unavailable.
Yeah, we can watch it on the screen.
I see that now. This is maybe,
Maybe,
maybe it'll load.
I don't know if it's gonna load.
Maybe
Okay,
there's a
maybe-
problem doing a YouTube.
That's what I was just
video.
thinking. I was thinking
YouTube.
maybe I
Yeah.
should just pull it up.
It's, yeah, that's what I'm
Like, you
thinking.
can only YouTube so much at one time.
You can't stream and record and play.
Alright, I'm trying to see if I have it, email here. I have a million tabs, so here it is.
Maybe she didn't.
No, I
Oh,
don't
and
see
if it's uploaded, I'll just do that.
She usually uploads
She usually does.
to the Dropbox.
I'm coming through on this. It's so tiny, I don't know.
Today we are at Alice King Community School
Not
and
everybody's
we're here as a culmination of a service learning class where students decided they wanted to help the unhoused in Albuquerque and made blankets and got the entire school involved in a donation drive for supplies. And so today we were donating the supplies.
Things to keep warm, like clothing, gloves, hand warmers, stuff like that. It's food, water, and like bathing stuff, bath utilities, stuff like that. And mainly just general stuff for health and warmth, mainly on the streets. I would describe it as a very like rewarding feeling of being able to like help people who really especially like whenever you are doing like the more hands-on parts of it, where you were making the blankets, gathering the stuff, filling up the bags, like you felt like an actual connection to these people you've never really met before.
That's one of our 8th graders speaking.
Good from Tampa.
He's very articulate as well.
Students got a new understanding of community. The donations have been building up in my classroom over the course of the last weeks, and I knew they were there, but seeing them load after load after load downstairs and just knowing that they would go to people who needed them was really amazing for me, and I think for the students too.
Cool.
That was cool. So that went out, it was on the news, it's still on the City of Albuquerque's website, and we're gonna be posting it on the Alice King website. And, so yeah, it was just a really great opportunity for us to be shown in a positive light, which any positive news, we'll take it. Not that we have negative news, but lots and lots of positive news is super important all the time. So the next thing is about the U.S. News and World Report school rankings that just came out. And AKCS was ranked, as our middle school was ranked number 16 in New Mexico, which is the top 3% in the state.
Good job.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So I put some more information up there for you. So out of just charter middle schools in New Mexico, we're number 8 out of 70 charter middle schools. Just looking at middle schools in Albuquerque, we are number 7 in the city out of 118. And out of charter middle schools, we are number 5. So
Good job.
good stuff there. Elementary school, I was actually really surprised by this because I actually thought this would be much higher. But we are 154 out of 616, still puts us in the top 25%, but of course, I want the top 10%, so we'll keep working towards that. We're number 12 for charter elementary schools in New Mexico, number 35 for elementary schools in Albuquerque, and number 11 for charter elementary schools in Albuquerque. When they're looking at like middle schools in Albuquerque, elementary schools in Albuquerque, they're looking at district schools, charter schools, and private schools. So looking at all of those together. So in thinking about that, it feels pretty good to see that we're in the top 25% and then top 3% for our middle school. So all of that was based on proficiency ratings from the state assessment from last spring's NMESA scores. Because they did math and reading and language arts. And then I have a little note that I pulled off their website that says half of the formula assessed the scores themselves, and the other half incorporated the test results in the context of socioeconomic demographics. In other words, the top ranked schools are all high achieving and have succeeded at educating all their students. So
No.
I thought that was really nice. All right, lastly, we have a new designation from New Mexico Vista. So last year, if you remember, when they finally released all of the embargo data, they first designated us as a traditional school. Then they pulled it all back, redid the designations, then we were a spotlight school. Now for this year's, based on last year's assessment data, we are back to being a traditional school. However, even though we no longer have that spotlight designation, we're continuing to outperform the district in reading, math, science, EL learners, and attendance in the all students category. So, and then in some of the categories, if you click on the link there, Fabian, it'll take you to that Vista's website, and I have it keyed up to the Alice King Community School report. And if you have time to dig through this and kind of look around, there's some really good charts in here that where you can see the difference. So if you want to scroll down just a little bit, and let's take a look at the reading proficiency and just go and explore this section. And you can see Alice King is yellow and APS is orange. So you can see in some of these subcategories, like our Black students, how much more how much better they're performing at Alice King than they are in the district.
Good for us, not good for them.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different stuff here. There's still loading data, so there's a lot of stuff that won't be available until January, but if you have time to poke around and look at some things, there's some good stuff there.
Well, I can attest in the very giant differences between our middle school and an APS middle school.
Well,
I'm living it right now.
our goal is to keep it rigorous, but yet supported for learners who need the additional support. So I hope that we're achieving that. We have a lot of things going on. Student-led conferences are this week. Next week's Thanksgiving. Right after Thanksgiving, when we come back, is our 80th reporting day. So that's coming right around the corner. We have middle of year assessments coming up also the week after Thanksgiving. That will be for reading in grades K through 8 and math grades K through 2. Okay, foundation. This is going to tie into the foundation report here in just a minute, but the foundation is doing a lunch and learn information session on December 3rd at noon. I invite you all to come in if you're able to. We are going to be, our newest push for the legislative session is to try and start working towards a jump.
Very
Yeah.
good.
What we have to do, buy a neighboring property?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of big money that we've got to start really.
Is that one still for sale on the other side of the playground?
There's one for sale across the street somewhere, and there's one for sale right over here.
Okay. So that one right across from the playground at the corner?
I don't know. I saw
It was
that.
for sale for like the last year and a half.
Mhm. So Carlos is already working with the realtor to see what's available in the neighborhood and getting prices. So what we're doing is we're putting together 2 legislative requests this year. One is for the planning and design of a gym. One is for continued playground and building improvements. So we need a lot of support from the community to reach out to representatives and senators for that legislative support. Carlos put together a really nice PowerPoint presentation for that session. We already had one community information session, not well attended. Well, there was one person there.
We've had that before.
Yeah. So we thought Danielle had a great idea to try to do it as a lunch and learn at 12 o'clock. So middle of the day, trying to catch people during their lunch break, see if maybe we can get some more support that way. And we'll just be doing. Yeah, well, it'll be Zoom, but they can bring their lunch. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that. So, and then we have another foundation meeting shortly after that. We have an equity council meeting coming up on December 10th, professional development on the 13th, and of course winter break, but we'll meet again before winter break.
Question,
Yes.
the middle of the year assessments,
Mhm.
do you get access to instantaneous results, or does it have to go somewhere and come back 3 months later?
No, it does not go anywhere, come back 3 months later. It just takes a while to get all of the students tested. I'm hoping that I'll be able to have results for you at the next meeting, but I don't know if all of our students will be tested by then.
And
It takes, although we have the window set for a week, if kids are absent or kids need extended time, it can take 2 to 3 weeks for them to get everybody done. But then we can look at the results right
And
after
you
that.
get to spend all that time trying to put it in understandable form?
Exactly.
And our next meeting's the 18th, right?
Mhm.
Let's shoot for January.
Okay, sounds good to me, Dave.
All right. Anything else, Christie?
Hey, Mariposa, I'm not sure if I missed it. I didn't see us go through the approval of the meeting minutes.
Oh, we did, and I jumped right over it. You didn't miss it, I just jumped over it and went
Okay.
on, because I was trying to move us. So,
Gotcha.
all right,
Good.
let's go backwards. If Miss Christie's done, let's go
I'm done.
backwards and approve the minutes from the October 16th meeting. Sorry, guys. It's been that kind of day. Thank you, Dominic.
I was like, man, I'm a little tired today, but I don't know.
No, we didn't do it, because I just kept jumping. That's like Christie said, oh, that was fast, because we missed a piece. All righty, any comments, questions, concerns on the minutes? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Dave,
I wasn't there.
Rhonda? Okay. Motion carries.
Dominic, will you send me the signed minutes after the meeting?
Yeah, I can send them, but it'll be late tonight if that's
Oh,
okay.
that's fine. Yes, I know you have a thing, that's fine.
All right. Ms. Christie, I think you or Miss Anna are up for Foundation and Equity Council.
Miss Danielle?
Oh, Miss Danielle, look at me, I'm sorry.
I know.
You talker.
Chrissy already said all of my points
That
I prepared.
Thunder Stealer.
Oh, Danielle's first time to report, me took your thunder.
I showed her my notes and it's like everything
I'm
is there.
sorry. I get excited.
So the foundation's been doing a lot of work around preparing for the upcoming legislative session and capital outlay requests. The focus is going to be on the playground improvements and then a new gym / multi-purpose room. There was a foundation community information event via Zoom on November 14th to discuss the fundraising opportunities. So in that, we provided information about the foundation, capital outlay requests to legislatures, requests to families to outreach to legislatures, and other ways that they can help. The foundation also plans on providing a template for families to help them contact the legislatures and give them the key information that they need to do the outreach with. And then there'll be the second virtual meeting in a lunch and learn format on December 3rd at noon. I know, I told
Almost
you.
everything, I'm so sorry, I know. And the other, I did make a mistake, because it was also Shalana, it was Carlos and Shalana who put the PowerPoint together. So I just want to clarify that and give Shalana kudos as well.
All right. Any questions for Miss Danielle? Thank you, Miss Danielle. Who's doing equity council?
Me.
All right. I'm not gonna guess this time.
I'm happy to say our small but mighty equity council met. And so we have with a couple of members, we're hoping that we're really looking to grow.
I think
If you guys know of
I have
anybody,
somebody I'm trying to recruit for
please,
you.
please,
I'm working
yeah.
on it.
Great.
So
I think
we're
he would
really
be
that
great.
time looking at our strategic goals and for you guys, and then we really spent most of our meeting talking about that and adapting them and kind of giving the timelines that we can meet those things. But we're working, just be nice to have more help.
Well, I'm trying to get, it's one of my associates who's no longer at the firm, but, he's English as a second language, English as a second language, grew up in the South Valley,
That's
is
awesome.
a lawyer, and has a lot of views. He's Native and Hispanic,
That's
so
really
I think
awesome.
he would be really helpful to you all.
Well,
And is
let me
an
know,
excellent writer.
we meet on Zoom. That would be a
That will
tight. And so I do have the Equity Council's final draft of their portion of the strategic plan. I'm just not sure who to send it to. Is it you, Veronica? Fabian. Okay, I will send that to you.
Okay. All right, Fabian, since we rearranged anything else on Equity Council? Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Since we moved around the agenda, Mr. Fabian, you are up.
Thank you. So the strategic planning team, we had a meeting around 3 weeks ago. Our primary focus was the state of the school brochure. We have another meeting coming up. I'll talk through what that will look like because we have some things we need to take care of. But in interest of Dom's time, I'm going to pull up the where we're at with the state of the school and let Dom walk through that. So let me get that up.
All right. So a lot of the layout stayed the same. I used a lot of what Jennifer had provided us last year. So if you scroll down, you'll just see updates in a lot of those places. I did reformat stuff just where I saw weird misalignment stuff that could be updated, but this text here is pretty much the same as last year. So we can keep moving down. Yeah, mission, vision remain the same. This is where we summarize the AKCS strategic plan update. I don't know if you want me to read through this or just give you guys a minute to read through the text here.
We can read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second paragraph, family engagement is also a priority. The second sentence feels strange to me, including a pilot. After the comma, should it say pilot program requiring family service?
It sure can, yeah.
We're gonna bring an F-16 pilot in.
It just felt like we were missing a word there.
Including a pilot program. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, I jumped out of this. Okay.
Okay, I have a question on that. New goals include improving collaboration with the foundation and ensuring transparency by streaming and recording council meetings. While I recognize that is a goal, the streaming and recording is also by law. So how, yeah.
Hey.
It's gonna sound like we're doing things we didn't have to.
Hey, at work, you always take credit for things you have to do. So I thought it was.
Hey, but I just don't want to be, misleading either. So we decided to do that all on our own. But if you guys are okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. That's something we can remove or modify, but it was in our strategic plan, and that's why I ended up including it there.
Yeah, maybe take out, what Christy just.
It's a goal, and our goal is to comply with the law.
Okay, then I'm good. If y'all are good, I'm good.
And it is a goal, because there's a couple times
We've
we've not
had
complied with
problems.
the law.
That is true.
You know, fault of our own.
But wording it as a goal makes it sound like we're not doing it yet.
Yeah, so I think maybe Christy had a good word replacement choice for goals that I'm okay with if everyone else is. New endeavors instead of goals, and just change that word.
There you go.
Yeah, where's that at? Sorry, I'm trying to see on the screen. But I'm not.
Two lines above your cursor.
Oh, it's Fabian's cursor right there, yeah. New endeavors.
New endeavors. Okay, 1 second.
Because I do think that collaboration with the foundation's always been a goal too, so I think endeavor's a better word.
Well, if we're really gonna start looking at a gym, we're gonna need more collaboration.
There's collaborating.
Okay, cool, got it.
This is a technical question for someone smarter than me in that paragraph. Additionally, AKCS will explore facility expansions. Should we put AKCS with the foundation? Because we can't actually do that on our own.
We can explore it on our own, though.
Well, not really, because we can't do anything once we've explored. We get lost.
Okay, got that one. That you guys do
Okay.
want that change, right? AKCS with the foundation.
Yes, with the AKCS Foundation, we'll explore. Yes, please.
Okay.
Sorry, the nitpicking is real. I'm sorry, it's ingrained.
I've been hanging around you lawyers long enough. It doesn't even faze me anymore.
It's ingrained. Okay, I'm good with that page if you wanna, is everyone else okay? I read fast, so.
So this text is pretty much from what we had before. These images, Christy, just to make you aware, these were posted by AKCS on the public site. So I figured that they were okay for a brochure.
Yeah, that's what we figured. I think they came off Facebook.
Okay.
But you know what we'll do, Dominic, I'll have Anna just double check tomorrow just to confirm that those kids are.
And we also probably want to, once you hear back from Christy on confirming that it's okay, the student's name at the bottom, we need to blur over somehow. We need to blur that over if there's any student names.
Okay. Yeah, I just took it directly off of the Facebook stuff, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I recognize that people can post their own children's names, but we should not.
This was actually us, or Alice King posted it.
I know who I need to follow up with.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all this pretty much the same. I'll look at these pictures closely as you're getting approval, Christy, and I'll try to make sure there's no identification stuff on there. Updated the council members.
Dom, you gotta take the asterisk off of me. I'm no longer a parent.
Oh,
I'm a
that's
parent, but I'm not a parent of a student who's here.
We have some other legal questions to ask you, Mariposa. Just take asterisk. All right. Very good. Yeah, this stuff's all the same. I got your new image today, Laura. I can put that in.
Rhonda had a question.
Yeah, just the community school piece. I didn't really see anything about what we're doing at the community school.
Can you expand on what you're looking for?
So that's actually a big thing in New Mexico now. Yeah, so they're doing a lot of funding for community schools. They want to know the outreach, like who are you partnering with, things like that. So I wanted to know do we have those partnerships that we can include?
We don't we are not eligible to receive the community school grant because we are not a Title I school and do not receive any Title I money.
But shouldn't we still have partnerships or not?
Yes, but they're not through the community school grant, and so
Right.
in terms of, so we've always, we've had conversations about defining community with the community of all the stakeholders of the school, but still trying to have outreach and also community partnership support for the school. But in terms of the community school kind of movement in New Mexico, you know how they're like school-based health centers and
Oh, yeah.
things like that, so that's.
That's different, that's more high school
Mhm.
funding, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I just didn't see anything.
Like, oh, we should be talking about it. Yeah, I think that'd be good to talk about. Dominic, do you want me to help you write something up for that piece?
Because I know the purpose of the.
About it
company-
being a community school or about that would be helpful. Where did you guys want that at?
Well, I actually don't know what to put in there. I just know when the charter school was written back in 2006, the intention of the charter school being a 4-day week was that the 5th day would be like a community involvement type project for all the students.
Right.
And teachers.
And it still is.
Yeah.
So I think we could probably put it under the About Us section.
Yeah,
Okay, just as far as timeline is concerned, like I can add that stuff in, but if we're trying to get this out next week, will we have time to work that, Christy? I mean, I could throw stuff in and not have it reviewed by everybody. I think what we've made so far are kind of like small, what I'd consider like small like corrections. So that's I don't know how that process works. So I'll point that back to you all.
Well, it's not like necessary. I just thought it would be helpful.
Yeah.
To show that.
Well, and I was just wondering if because the overall like message it's from us more than like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm fine putting something in, you know, we can put it in the about us that, you know, like as a community school, we blah, like 2 sentences. You know, we can do if that's what we're aiming for to put in the about, we can do a motion to approve it subject to, you know, the committee's final approval of any new language that's in there. I think we can do that if we're mostly
We can
comfortable with
delegate
it.
that.
Yeah.
to everybody.
Because we, you know, aren't gonna get another meeting of us together to bless it, but I think if we're comfortable proceeding that way, that's what we could do.
Sure. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure we can meet y'all's timelines. I didn't even know how the approval for this worked. So we can definitely add language in. I just want to make sure we're on track to get it out when Christy, I think you were trying to target the parent teacher conferences. So
Yeah, and if we're still trying to do that, I'm gonna need a final file and a Hail Mary to get the printing done.
Yeah, I mean, because we have conferences going like right now.
Oh, it's not next week, it's this
No,
week.
it's this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then when would we wanna,
So
I mean,
the
let's
next
think
step,
about
like
that.
next fresh year, what?
When would we wanna try to, what's the next thing that people are gonna be in the building to pass them out? Or do we wanna just email it out at this point and not print them? I mean, that's just things to think about.
We could do a reach through email and asking teachers to send it out through their classroom communication method. You won't reach 100% of everybody because, I mean, we have everybody signed up. I can't guarantee everybody's gonna look, but we can push it out at, a few times to try and hope that we'll try to catch people.
And you could post it on the website.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's what we all cumulatively think would be a better way to send the message. So I don't have any, if we want to get it out, this semester, then I think, we probably have missed the boat on printing and handing out. I don't know.
Yeah, because the next time would probably be spring conferences in February, March.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I think what you described in terms of email and maybe a few other communication methods through individual teachers, how they go about things should be fine. I think often whenever you communicate strategic plan related stuff, you should have multiple ways of doing it anyway, and I think that's the most optimal thing we can do right now.
Do kids have like folders, anything that they get sent home?
Yeah, because we could get them printed and send them home at some point,
Mhm.
or at the end, when you send report cards at the end of the semester. So
We
you
said
can,
that they're getting them right now.
oh, they're getting
with
them right now.
conferences.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, I mean, we could do the push out from electronic now and then give my brother a few days to print and then send them home in folders, at, you know, towards the end of the semester.
Could certainly do that.
Right after break, right after Thanksgiving or whatever. Yeah, before Christmas break.
So there's
Yes.
already, I'm sorry, go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, that sounds good, and that would give us another time to we can work this over the next week, add in the information about the community school. I can make the other edits. I do have to drop off now, but let me know if there's any other edits that need to be put into the file, and I can update.
I do have edits for you, Dominic, and I emailed you earlier, so what I'll do is I'll just email those edits to you. They're specific to membership for the foundation and the equity council.
Okay.
And then
Thank you.
Dominic, we're gonna go ahead and probably vote the way that I said we would vote. I'll take the minutes now. But that way we can, you know, start getting it done and then push out electronically and get it printed.
Okay.
So, and I'll take over your minutes.
That's fun as basketball.
Thank you. Bye all.
Dominic, I have a sweatshirt for you when you stop by the office next time and a check for you to sign.
Okay. Sounds good. I can drop by on Friday if you're available.
That's perfect.
Cool. Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
So we already have a blurb about community in our CLR framework. So it says partnering with local businesses, organizations, and individuals within the community brings to the school a wealth of resources, expertise, and diverse perspectives that enrich classroom and after-school experiences. In turn, the school gives back to the community through service projects that enhance the lives of others and support community initiatives.
I like it.
And we have a video to prove it.
That's right.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
then I also have a little thing in here about Fridays and parent support on Fridays. So I can just kind of morph those things, send it to Dominic and let him include it if you guys are okay with that.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna write this down first and then I'll make the motion.
Okay, and then the other edits I had were on the foundation page just to update the membership. And then on the equity council page, I had a couple of things so that one was just to update membership there. And then on equity council to update membership, but on the next page to remove bullets 2 and 3 because that work's already been accomplished. So I'll email that to Dominic and let him know.
What was on the community piece from your CLR and what else? Foundation? Or
No,
getting back? Okay.
Yes, it's
Community.
but it's still part of the CLR framework.
Yeah.
The portion about Fridays and
Oh,
what we
and
utilize
Fridays.
Fridays for.
There we go. That was it. I just couldn't remember the second piece. Okay. So I will make a motion to approve the state of the school as edited now and to be edited by the committee to include language from the CLR framework on community school and our community Fridays.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, so the other part for the strategic planning committee is we will have our next meeting this coming Tuesday. Any further business with the state of the school, we'll handle that, but also a focus area now coming up for us is going to be, now that we'll have the equity council input into the strategic plan, we need to make sure that we get ready for next council meeting so that we can bring that forward for approval. A concern I have is it's been a while since we had our strategic planning meeting and want to make sure that when folks see it, that it's not what I've seen before where there's a lot of questions of what do we mean by that kind of thing. So we'll do our best to address that, but also want to have a communication plan once that is approved. And in addition to that, For me, very important to have an assurance rhythm so that way we make sure there's accountability, that we are regularly reviewing how we're doing to each strategy and goal area, and then we adjust as we need to, since it's a living thing that we need to actively manage, and so we'll get going with that. So I just wanted to report that that'll be a focus as we go forward.
Sounds good. Thank you, Fabian. I agree with all of those goals and plans.
Can I ask just a question? I think that originally when we worked on the strategic plan, the idea was to implement it this fall, if I remember correctly. And so I'm just wondering about whether or not we need to relook at any of the timeline pieces that we put in the strategies.
I think we will.
Okay.
Well, I think we've noticed some of that already,
Okay.
but we got some work to do there.
So you guys will work on
Bring it to the
updating.
meeting, we'll highlight and say,
Yeah.
look, this is our proposed updates, and then that we consider council agrees with that.
So will you send out what we need to look at before the meeting so we can
Absolutely.
review it?
Yeah, big believer in pre-read, so we'll do.
All right, anything else, Fabian?
That is it.
Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Veronica, you and Ms. Laura are up.
Okay, today the finance committee met and we reviewed the October financials. This included the bank statement, the payroll, the paycheck register, and any large dollar transactions, which are the transactions over $5,000. Just to make sure that all the documentation's in there, the POs, if there's quotes, if there's the receiving tickets, that kind of thing. We also reviewed several journal entries and the budget summary, the budget expense summary. We will have 3 bars tonight that Laura will tell you about. If you had a chance to review the document she sent to everybody, were there any questions on the budget report?
Yeah. So what's the difference between adopted and current?
Adopted is what I had originally budgeted for back in the spring. Current is if I've done any bars since the start of this year and how to adjust the budget, what it currently is right now.
So current still doesn't have any adjustment down for the expected reduction for fewer students?
No, we won't get that till what, March? January, first quarter-ish, yeah.
Officially, but I mean, unofficially, we must have an idea what it's going to be, don't we?
That's what you had mentioned earlier, we're working on.
They actually have a new system that for reporting the 40-day too, so it should be faster. Yeah, because, yeah, they approved the 40-day like almost immediately through the OPMS system.
I just don't want us to be all happy that we're not spending it and 12 million becomes 8 million or something.
No, I
And then we all of a
understand.
sudden aren't as happy.
It's a worry of ours for sure.
Did you have an idea of what that decrease is?
No, we need to verify a few things and sit down together, yeah.
I expect it to be significant,
Yeah.
given our numbers. I mean, we forecasted 450 and
No,
425.
425, but PED projected us to
450.
They projected us to 450, even though we didn't request it.
Yeah, we did 425, they sent us up to 450, and we're at 3, whatever Christie just, 380 something, so we're gonna have a
It's gonna
hit.
be significant. What we don't know is, I feel like I was pretty conservative with budgeting from the get-go, so I think that's the piece Laura and I are kind of working through right now is, was it conservative enough to conserve what we currently have without making any adjustments?
Well, and you've done a really good job about making staffing adjustments that have occurred since the beginning of the school work and not filling needs where we had someone and shuffling and doing things. So I appreciate that work to try and keep what we've got together, knowing that we're gonna have a budget impact. So thank you guys for that. Can I look at the check register just real fast?
And I am gonna point out a few questions.
Payroll's normal. That's all fine. What's that reverse transaction approved cash receipts, 23,000?
It's probably, I just made a mistake.
Journal entry, yep,
Yeah.
I see it, it's a void, yep, okay.
And it could be anything from, I missed something on the account code and I had to fix it it to, I didn't label it exactly the way I wanted to be consistent. Yeah.
Not related to the lunch, it looks like.
Yeah, the USDA, so that's our food service program, when we do our monthly claims. So it's about right with the 2-month delay that we've been tending to see.
That 13 from Moss Adams, that's our share of the audit.
Not even. Yeah, we were looking at that today and I'm like, I think there's one more bill coming.
This one's like 4,000.
It's gotta be
3,000,
13,000.
and then another one is probably.
We paid them to do that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's
Freaking
terrible.
auditors.
They can be earning, right?
Well, and the state still hasn't blessed audits yet, so.
Well, the audits were so bad this year, APS asked me to write a letter complaining, because they were really hard on them too. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding, it's about time, they're sitting on
Yeah, no, it
buckets.
was brutal. I thought mine lasted 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, same,
Mhm.
same.
Yeah, no, and I mean, for lots of state agencies, it's not just schools.
Yeah.
The state hasn't processed or approved or released
Oh,
audits yet for
yeah,
lots of
makes
people.
sense.
Fabian, can you go to line 25? This one you're gonna start seeing monthly. It's not gonna be that expensive monthly though. So, I think Christy mentioned this at the last board meeting, that we had a lady come in, she redid the atriums, and now she's gonna be maintaining it. So Greenway Interior Landscaping, you'll be seeing that as a monthly, one that'll be coming in that's consistent. Can you go to?
It's not that much monthly, that was just the
No.
initial work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of cleanup to do.
Mhm. Next, you have to tell us what you think, Pat. Because you're a master gardener, so just.
Well, I kind of caught it out of the corner of my, because I was late because of the traffic, but it definitely looks good at first glance.
Yeah. Can you also go to line 47? This isn't a new vendor. We've used this one in the past, but it's not one that comes up a lot. So I just wanted to point it out. We ordered some testing this month. We have another vendor I'll show you in a second too. And it's testing for like gifted, special education, that we ordered from. The one beneath it, me, $435, that reimbursement is for the business registration renewal. I just wanted to clarify. Because you don't usually see people getting reimbursed quite that much. The next one, line 56, that's the other testing company we bought from this month, Riverside Insights. Again, they're not new, they just don't pop up often, I think at this point maybe once this whole year is when you're gonna see them. And then there's one a little bit further down, line 76. That was a professional development for a reading interventionist. And again, it's a weird title, it doesn't really tell you what it's about, so I just kind of wanted to point it out and clarify.
So what is your last name?
It's now Riker,
Okay.
but changing it everywhere is really daunting.
I didn't know it was Riker.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on the check register?
No, I signed up at Moss Adams up there for $4,000.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, said and done, it's
Can we
not
go to
even
the budget
pretty.
report too?
Foundation has to pay too.
Yeah, it is a separate
It is a
unit,
separate
right?
bill.
Yeah.
And then for the budget summary, again, I always highlight the 24,000s just because those are the ones that need to be spent down to zero. Christy and I will start working on the teacher principal training recruiting. Those are usually our Title II stipends. And so we're gonna start looking at that and what stipends to give to staff. The ELL one, we've put in an order, so that one should be spent to zero soon. And IDEAD, I'm gonna wait until I see what we apply for our PPLN grant to kind of strategize who I'm reimbursing for before I finish spending that one down. So that one I'm gonna kind of pump the brakes on until I know what I'm doing with the other grant. Yeah.
Any other questions on the finance report? All right, seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the finance report for the period ending October 31st, 2024?
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
All right, we have good bars, so they're all good. So they're all increases or initial budgets tonight. This one is bar 0016-I. So this is our Medicaid fund. We have received $6,600 more than what I originally budgeted for. So I'm changing the budget so that way it matches what we really have available to spend. And I put it towards right now just general supply and materials because we do tend to spend it right now just on nursing supplies. But I shared with Christy tonight other options that we have for spending if we ever want to look into that. Yeah. But this is a non-recurring fund. We don't have to like rush to spend this down either.
Very good.
Where did that money come from?
We get it, so every quarter I submit the billing for Medicaid and they determine how much we get back as a reimbursement based off of what we've been spending in that quarter.
So if we have students who receive ancillary services such as nursing services or OT, PT, speech, and they have Medicaid, then they can give consent for the school to bill for services. And so that's where that money comes from.
So it's one of the budget lines that has nothing to do with our 380
No, it's not operational.
No.
Way to recoup some of the money that we spend by appropriate services.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve bar ending in 0016I?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And this one is bar 0017-I, so it's another increase. It's the exact same situation as the Medicaid fund. This is our activities fund. And so sometimes when different activities at the school collect, it's a little bit beyond what I budget. And I try not to over budget too much on this one because it's harder to predict. It really is. Like, I don't know what kind of fundraising the teachers have planned a year in advance. So we need to increase the budget amount by $841 because we have exceeded the current budget that I have for it. I know, right? I would never see it that high for that one. That's nice.
All right, any questions for Laura on this one? All right, I will make a motion to approve bar ending in 0017I. Have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
And then the last bar is bar 0018-IB. IB just stands for initial budget. I think it's July, I applied for lease assistance. I submitted an application. And the way they calculate lease assistance is two different ways. They can either do it based off of your membership for that year that had just finished, or they can do it based off of square footage. The bummer is they take whichever one is less. So student enrollment's going down and that's less than the square footage amount from their calculation, then they'll just give you that one. And I think that's pretty much what we got stuck with this year on it. Last year we got 366,000. This year we're getting about 333,000. But this goes towards our lease to purchase, so it does help to offset some of that rent cost.
I think I picked the right size.
We'll be coming
It's cold in
It is.
here.
I just got told you. Any further questions or discussion on 0018IB? All right, I will make a motion to approve bar ending in 0018IB.
Second.
Aaron seconds. And any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. That one passed you. Okay, Miss Pat, I think you are up.
Alrighty, I don't have a report for nominating. It's status quo from last month. We still don't have any prospects. So I'll just ask you to keep in mind that we're looking for someone who has an educational background. But for the professional development piece, I sent out today, some information about the, conference that's coming up. And those of you who have not, satisfied your requirements for CEs, on Thursday, December the 12th at Tamaya, there's going to be, an opportunity to get all the required credits for existing members, or returning members. I don't know if Laura, you saw my question on that. I asked you just to verify that I had the correct PO number for that.
I don't think I saw.
Okay, it's 2025-016, right?
I'll look it up right.
And how much does it cost us?
It's $300. If I'm reading this correctly.
Is that for both days?
No, this is just the
The one
Thursday, Thursday.
Okay,
only.
good.
For both days, it's quite expensive, but Thursday only, so. And I gave you all the link to register, but I just wanted to make sure. That was what I had in my file. I'm going to try and go that day.
That's through public charter schools, right?
Yeah.
In New Mexico. Yeah, it's 2025-016
Okay.
for that PO number.
So it is correct what I sent out then. Okay, that's all I have on that one. There's nothing new as far as anyone doing any additional CE since the report last week.
I will report that, at least for me, I don't know about you, because I haven't done it yet, I'm sure you haven't either.
You know me so well.
That's why I'm putting this together, okay? Somebody's got real motivated to email me every couple of weeks and say, hi, do you need any help with your canvas?
Oh, I get that too.
So, yeah. Notice you haven't taken any classes yet. You need any? No, I just need time. Can you give me some time? Can you make me a time tracker? That would be helpful. Okay. I really do need Hermione's time turn. I'm not even kidding. I would like rock my life if I could have a time turn. And be in two places at the same time would be awesome. Okay, Pat, go ahead.
You want me to go on to policy?
If you're done with that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not rushing you, but I
No,
figured we were done.
We have not met, but we've communicated through emails. And a policy concern has come up that we need to deal with. And Christy, do you want to talk about the?
Yeah, sure. So by law, we are required to have a written policy on the use of restraint and seclusion in the schools. The use of restraint and seclusion involves putting hands on children. And so we need to make sure that we are following the law, which we do, but we need to have a written policy in addition. So we are already doing most of what's there. There were some new things that came up that have been brought to our attention that we're working on putting into place. But as part of our APS site visit this year for special education, it came up that we needed a written policy, which made me realize that we didn't have one. So I reached out to the school attorney and asked her to send us a sample policy. I read through it and it seems like it matches statute.
I agreed with it, and Rhonda agreed with it, and I believe you did too.
And I will say, yes, I did, and I read it as well. And for this one particularly, I would encourage us as we do the first reading to be mindful about not making changes, because that's why I asked for us to spend the money and have the lawyer create this policy for us, because this one needs to be very precise and very compliant with the law. So that's why I asked that we spend the money and have her do this one and us not attempt to do it on our own.
And as we read through it, if you have questions about our current practices, we can certainly speak to that. Because it does, when you read it, it could make you feel like a little nervous. So.
Yes.
Was there anything that precipitated them bringing this up again, or is it just?
I think what happened is that there was a memo from PED that went out in the midst of COVID, and with all the craziness, and we've had guidelines and processes that we've been following, and because of all the craziness of COVID, it just didn't even occur to me that, oh, we need to have a policy for this. But I think we're certainly not the only school, obviously, because now APS is like, wait a minute, we need to check in on our schools and make sure that they've got this.
Their memo was like 3.5 pages long.
Mm-hmm. And the wording in the memo, if you notice, the wording in the memo matches the policy. It tracks very closely.
Okay. Before we go on to looking, well, actually, I guess we can skip and look at that, and then we can go back to the second reading.
I'm fine with that, Pat. We can do that since we got it up.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason I say if you have questions about what we're currently doing, for sure let us know. And not to say that we're inviting you in. I'm wanting to put practice before policy, but we are following the requirements of the law. We just don't have the written policy to match it right now.
And my one question in this whole thing is where in the policy manual? Because you notice I did not put a paragraph.
I think we need to have it needs to be a standalone in the policy manual with a new number somewhere, but I would.
Probably the student section, I would imagine.
Yeah. Policies. Yes. Ah, look at me. I actually have things with me so we can number it with our first reading. Hang on. Let's see. Restraint and seclusion. It's mostly applicable to staff. So I'm not certain the student section is the right place because, I mean, it's the student, but I think employee, staff, and personnel evaluations, records, administrative, professional. So they're looking, let's see. Educational program. No, I think maybe we should put it in administrative structure. Because we've got tobacco-free, drug-free, we've got, look, Erin, what do you think?
Section 4?
I think section 4 is where this needs to go. If you look at. Personnel is really, I mean, maybe it could be 5 or something, but this is all personnel. Educational program, we've got snow days, field trips, internet, maybe.
It's really.
Yeah, I would say either educational or.
It pertains to students. Yeah, we can put it there, we can make it whatever number that is, that's 6 H.
Section 6
H. What do you think, Pat? I think I agree with Karen, put it here as a end of 6. Because we have bullying, we got attendance, we've got, so I think let's make this 6H.
Great.
Yes. Put that right up there.
Yes.
Yes. And what did we put on the agenda? First reading?
I didn't,
Okay, perfect.
I just put the name.
No, we've got enough description that I'm good with that.
Identifying the policies.
Yeah.
So do you want me to read it, or we'll just scroll down through it since it's pretty much?
So we do have it on the agenda? as
Yes.
First reading? Okay.
Yes.
We just didn't have a number, but we described it sufficiently enough that we can add the number.
I know that Jennifer wanted me to read through all of this, but I don't know that it's necessary since this is just.
Yeah, we can read
No, we
it
can read
ourselves.
it, we don't have to do it out loud, it's just personal preference.
It is kind of, when you read it, it kind of gives you pause, like, oh my, yeah.
The good thing is that it's not very frequent when it happens, so while it's scary, at least at our school, it's not very frequent.
This year it hasn't been. The last year and the
Last
year
year,
before,
yeah,
it was much too frequent, unfortunately.
Because we had some explosions.
Kind of depend on work at a school, specifically for me, they were challenge students. This was 4 times a day for them.
I think this is good in that it gives us the paperwork that needs to be done, or the notices and the timeframes.
Now, look, I'm gonna backtrack on what I said about the lawyer, because that's who I am. The only thing that I've got a concern with, because it's straightforward, is a school like F and G, a school employee shall provide, and then a school employee on G, and these are the notifications. I'm wondering if on those two, it should be an head administrator or their designee. I don't think it should just be a school employee. I think we should put,
On the same day basis.
I think, giving the ages,
Yeah,
the,
dates.
Yeah.
The head
So-
administrator?
yeah, the,
So what we,
Or what do you think?
just to share with, because this is for oral notice, okay?
oh, okay,
So we have it as part of our process that it's the head administrator or designee.
That's-
or-
okay, so
or-
that's-
And or designee.
yeah, so I
Or
think we
designee,
need to
sorry.
delete that A in front of F, there you go, baby, you got it, and then put the head administrator or their designee. So that way
Yeah,
it could be
because there's
Danielle or Anna.
Well, depending on the situation, there's sometimes another school employee who has a little more information about the incident that can speak more clearly to the
Or the
parent than I
designee.
could.
Yeah. And then I think on the G2, that second line there, same words, head administrator or their designee. We just don't like general employees having power to do that.
Right.
Not that I don't trust them. But. Okay, sorry, those were
No, and to be fair to the lawyers that wrote this, they were doing a
the
generic.
generic,
employees
yeah,
work.
absolutely. So, I mean, that's fine. Backtrack on. And should we replace school with
I was gonna
AKCS?
ask.
I think we should just throughout, I mean, you don't have to do it on
Replacement.
the, right now, maybe, and we can work on it offline, but since it's the first reading, let's replace school with AKCS throughout.
We want to change principal of the school to head administrator.
Yeah. And like I said, we don't have to do it all, we can update it for the second reading, so just so long as we have notes of what generics we're changing into specifics. That's not substance, so I still stand by what I said.
I'm not breaking my own rules.
Not breaking.
Oh, yeah, crossed out.
I mean, I can Pat and I can help with the editing too. First reading. School
Just we can look, we need to go over the price.
principal.
What's an SAT or BIP?
The SAT is the student
Assistance
assistance team, and the BIP is the behavior intervention plan.
Okay.
Is that defined earlier in the meeting?
Oh, it's throughout policy everywhere, not just not in this one, but yeah, BIP and SAT are.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
IEP is the
IEP
individualized.
and
I
education.
know what that one is.
Yeah,
Okay.
but throughout the policy manual, there's definitions of those, so I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I think-
Success score.
Yeah. It's just not a capitalized school.
Right.
And this was recently drafted, so all the NMAC sites are accurate still.
No, I'll double check before the second reading. But they follow the one from the memo, I believe it's still accurate. So I will check. See, double check sites. Yeah. Okay, any other comments, questions, concerns for first reading? All right, then I will make a motion to approve the first reading of, what did we just say this was? 6H,
6H.
new 6H, straight and seclusion. Any further discussion, comments, concerns? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Now we have our first reading of 8F. Look at me learning how to read Roman numerals.
So, Pat, I apologize, I'm not sure if you had sent that document. I do have the one we used last time.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you had emailed that one.
No, I didn't. I figured you already had it in
Yeah,
your.
so
What I have is what we used last time for the first reading. I can change the wording up here, but it has the changes we made.
yes, we just have to confirm that we're gonna bless the changes we made at the
Right.
first reading. So I think we're okay.
No, that's partially my fault. This is the first time we've dealt with the second reading, so I didn't know if I needed to remind you to pull it back up or if you just saw it on
Okay.
Well, and
I
it
missed
just
some
depends on
emails
what
and
group we
stuff,
get in, because we can just look at the changes we made in the prior meeting too and do the second reading to approve it, so. What works for you guys? Works for me.
I like seeing the changes we made, so we don't try and make them again. Or change them
or,
some other way. So this is great.
No, that's good. You've got a good point there. It's been a month
Mhm.
and you might not remember the, yeah, well, we actually did that.
So the red and the highlighting is what we changed the last time. So let's take a minute and read it. Can you scroll down just a smidge here?
I believe that where I had it highlighted is where we just made like a complete addition, and where it's red is where we just updated the line within that sentence or subsection.
Yes, I believe that that is correct. Any comments, questions, concerns on the policy presented for second reading?
Can you scroll to the top of it? I don't know if it's needed, but this just came up recently, so it's on my mind. We do not permit younger siblings or any siblings under the age of 18 or any, and who cannot be an approved volunteer to also go on the field trip. Because it takes the chaperone's attention away from what they're supposed to be doing. Do we say that?
I don't think we say that anywhere.
Does
So I
it
think
need to be
yes, let's add a paragraph, probably in between 3 and 4. 4 is gonna change to 5. I think we just put the sentence, siblings or other family, non-siblings or non-AKCS students are not permitted to attend field trips. What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Siblings or or AKCS students are not permitted to attend field trips.
And we know we're turning back to our first reading, right?
Yep.
And it's fine, no, that's why we set up this process to do it deliberatively. I think it's a wonderful process.
And Fabian, can you just get rid of the contraction?
Yeah.
Do are not instead of aren't. Sorry, it's again a lawyer problem. We're not allowed to use contractions.
We get our hands
The period at the end of.
Yeah, bills, but contractions.
That's right.
And should we change 3 from a child to a student?
Yes.
And number 3, right above.
If they're the only ones that can go.
Yes, not any old child.
We'll put a period after trips on the end of the sentence.
You're a good driver, Fabian.
You're a great driver, Fabian. We appreciate you.
Sure thing.
Okay.
So it's back to the first reading again, right?
And we can't vote on a second reading tonight. We'll have to put it back on second reading
Second reading next month.
month. But that's.
Can you go back to number 5? Change to number 5. So that sentence, when possible, students will be transported by bus or public transportation. If not possible, should it be comma or if it is not?
Yeah, if not, if it is not.
Yeah, if it is not possible.
We need the if.
Sure. Comma.
Yeah, put a comma there, and then I think we need another word in the.
Yeah, if it is.
If it was not possible.
If such, I'm adding words because I'm a lawyer, but I think.
She's trying to get paid for the next words.
Yeah, if such transportation is not available. Sorry. I hate words. And I have talked way too much today. It's been one of those days. I've been on meetings all day and I'm tired of hearing myself talk. Good catch. I like it. I still don't like my or up there. I think that's the wrong word. It's siblings. Maybe it's or. Is it or right? Yeah, Aaron?
Okay, where we at?
Number 4. Siblings and, I feel like it should be an and. And or, yeah, I hate that, but.
Well, or could we just flip it and say non-AKS
Or-
students, including siblings.
There you
Perfect,
go.
thank you.
Okay.
See, you got the.
More words.
Jenny would be just rolling over right now. She wants it concise.
There you go, perfect. I like it.
So now we're back to next month's is another second
Second
reading.
reading, yes. Because we made more changes. Yeah.
I didn't do the first reading.
Oh, yeah. Say that to me. Yeah, we can say it. I think that when it said non-AKCS students, including siblings, that makes it sound like it's, the siblings are the non-AKCS, of the non-AKCS students. Do you see what I'm saying? As opposed to two separate beings
Yes.
or persons.
I think it's
I think it's still and siblings because it could still be a school-aged sibling who isn't AKCS student.
Yeah,
So it's
no AK. And what about siblings, we're adding more words, and siblings of students,
Or AKCS students.
and siblings of AKCS students are not permitted to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's better.
Yep, good call.
Danielle's getting in on the billing train now too.
Yeah.
She'll submit a bill.
She'll submit a bill.
I don't think you need a comma.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but the, after students, I think.
It's
you
just
know,
not,
it's
it's
for-
not gonna do anything weird, like siblings are in the same grade, right? Just make it.
Well, there are students who has a permission
Right, that's what I'm
or.
saying, it's not like, hey, you're not gonna get together this time.
The comment, World War, come out of this, what they're saying. After students.
Because there will be people who will try and quibble the terminologies being used. And this is good.
I think it's clear. Okay, well then we will place this back on the agenda for a second and hopefully final reading next month.
And this is on the Dropbox under for keeping the policy committee reports, just so you know, Pat, and then I'll put the other one on the restraint policy up there as well, so we have it saved.
And up your policy was updated from clarity, not updates. There's some change there.
Alrighty. Well, guys, do we need to discuss charter renewal? That's where we're at, old business.
Right, so where we're at with charter renewal is that the charter renewal committee is meeting next week.
Okay.
On Monday.
So you'll have maybe more to report next meeting. Okay.
Who's on your committee?
Rhonda, Erin, Laura, and myself.
Perfect. All right, well, seeing as we are at the end of our agenda and there is no other business to come before the board this evening, I will make a motion to adjourn at 7 o'clock.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All righty, let's go home.
I'm not gonna be here next month.
Well, then you have to be here. Thanks for the sweatshirt.
You're welcome. You never wear it. I did it.